islands that you were trying to see from up on top of the first viewpoint there. Tree Island 1 is down south, Tree Island 2 directly in front of us. A total of 5 tree islands are remnants of a forest that used to be here many years ago. Before beach grass was planted, sand blew in, covering over the lowest lying areas, leaving just these 5 high points as tree islands today. Numbered 1 through 5, from the south to the north, these become a road map in the sand for us. Should we need assistance or come across somebody that does need help, this is the easiest way to tell someone where you are in the open dunes is by tree island number. Now we're going to work our way up to tree islands number 4 and 5, the last 2 on the chain. And as we get up here onto the main dunes, that's where things can change very quickly with the prevailing winds. Southwesterly in the wintertime, northwesterly in the summer, pulling sand along and depositing it on ridges, creating a formation called a blow. Very steep and loose sand, only visible traveling back against the wind. Traveling with the wind, they can appear to be rolling dunes as far as the eye can see, hiding drop-offs that can be up to 40 feet tall on the other side. You always want to go slow and explore dunes before you ever go fast. Flying off of a blow like this one to our right, it's about 15 feet off to the bottom. Landings are going to be very rough. Hundreds of blows have been formed so far this summer. Now, the southwest winter winds are not very far away. In October, they'll start knocking off all these blows, pushing the sand over onto the north side of ridges, creating a completely different landscape and riding experience in the winter months. Only to start all over again next spring with the northwesterlies, creating what you see here today, constantly moving and constantly changing dunes. On the back side of some of these blows is a secondary formation called a razorback, where the wind swirls over the top of the blow and creates a very sharp, defined edge. A witch's eye formation is an uphill pull in any direction you go from the bottom. They can be anywhere from a few feet deep to over 40 feet deep. Very easy to drive off into.
I couldn't deeper than that hole we saw on the beach yesterday.
down into the very bottom of that witch's eye, and then we're going to turn around here, and then the left side of the buggy can also see that. You would not want to drop a vehicle of this size down into that witch's eye. You would be there for quite a while getting unstuck. Now, each one of the 5 tree islands has its own unique lake system to it called a seasonal lake. These come and go with the rise and fall of the water table. There are no fish in these. They're strictly a drinking source, for the animals that live here in the dens and while they exist. This one still has a couple of feet of water in it. There'll be another 30 days or so before it finally dries up, and then it'll become a dry lake bed until about the end of the year is typically when the water table starts to come back in again. Everything on the other side of Tree Island 4 is all Honeyman State Park. We're going to work our way up to Tree Island 5. We can see the tips of the trees there. That's the direction that we're headed. We're going to go back up the same way we just came in here, so the left side of the buggy can look down into the bottom of this witch's eye.
Wow. I have no idea. Just the bass.
You didn't dig it?
Well, I mean, I know you said it was big, but
Pretty good.
it's really big.
Like we're on the moon. Oh yeah. It wasn't when you first started though. The wind was really strong. Yeah, we're going the other direction now. Maybe that's yeah.
Down through this valley here to our left, pretty good size flows here, witch's eyes. Some of these up to 30 feet deep during the summer months. And again, only visible traveling in this direction against the wind, the summer wind. Traveling in the opposite direction, just like the flow there at Tree Island number 4 that we went off of. You don't see these drop-offs until you're right on top of them, so you have to go slow. But you don't end up at the bottom of something you can't get your vehicle out of. The lake here at Tree Island number 5, just about completely gone here. Another week or so, this will be a dry lake bed for the remainder of the year.
She got this big old smile on her face.
This is, now that it's not as windy, the beach was.
Yeah, it was a little chilly.
It's amazing how much you I think that's the one that's almost dried up on Island Tree 5. Island 5, did I say, isn't it?
That is what's 3, I think.
Oh, Tree Island?
3.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all tree islands.
Yeah, I know.
This is number 3, I think. I think so.
Oh, I thought it was 5. It's 4.
Better than I was afraid of.
Big pine tree in the middle of it.
Oh, God, no.
Off in front of us is
See the
Cleveland
post, like,
Lake,
completely buried?
Honeyman Dune inside the Honeyman State Park. Now, just a mile south of where you boarded the Buggy is one of the neatest state parks in the country, featuring over 400 overnight campsites from the lake south for nearly 2 miles. Setups for RVs, tents, yurts available, playground area down on the south end. The north side of the lake, all day use facility, excellent trout fishing up on the north end, a swimming area cordoned off, a diving dock, one of the hottest hills in the area for sandboarding there at Honeyman Dune. Now it is a long hike to the top of the hill, but on a properly waxed board. A sandboard is very similar to a snowboard. From the very top tree line, you can sandboard the entire length of the dune and actually finish your run by water skiing right out into Cleewax Lake. Pretty cool stuff there. Yeah. Honeyman State Park, 500 acres of the Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area. If you've never been through, take about 30 minutes out of your day. It's a beautiful drive through a very well thought out state park.
Uh-huh.
What?
Sand dune is the lake.
Jesse.
This is called Cleewax Ridge, named after Cleewax Lake, we were just near, which is on here off to our left. And off in front of us is part of the old ancient forest that used to be here years ago. The sand is no longer able to reach here from the Pacific Ocean to build these dunes any taller. The wind strips the sand away every year, revealing more and more of that forest that stood here a long time ago. Besides, these dunes are progressively becoming smaller every year until they address the beach grass issue. One more right-hand turn. You guys are getting the hang of this. I can tell he's doing awesome back there. Now, this is going to be a little bit different view of the dunes that we just came through. Gain enough elevation so we can look back out over the top of Cleewax Ridge. Now, from this vantage point, we can see all 5 tree islands again. The one I want to highlight is tree island number 3 in the middle, and the dune that sits just to the right side of that on the horizon, that's called Center Dune. It is the tallest in the northern riding area, 300 feet above sea level, giving you an idea of the depth of sand off on the east side, and elevation changes back to sea level about where the trees are here to our right. Now, this is one of the most unique and ever-changing areas anywhere in the world. There are very few places that represent freshwater trout-bearing lakes within a mile of a saltwater ocean, divided by forested areas and substantial sand dunes. All 4 of those ingredients can be found right here at the Oregon Dunes. And now we're going to head over here and pick up a trail that will point us north for a ways.